Discretion is advised.
Just clicking all the wrong buttons because I am new. Guys, it's Thursday. We almost didn't make it today. It was last minute decisions to forge ahead, Envy and I, because sometimes that's just what you have to do. Well, it is Thursday. We're drinking, so grab your drink while we do the intro things and I learn how to adult because, you know, I'm still learning, guys. It's not that easy. Today we are going to be talking about the obvious, which is the 8.2 stuff. There's a lot of things, a lot of stuff and junk, and we have a lot to talk about in terms of what's coming and what is already on PTR and all those good things. And we're going to talk about where the hell Secret and Rem are, because we don't know. We're going to have to launch a full-scale investigation. They're just dropping like flies. It might be a scary movie scenario. Not 100% sure, but have no fear. We'll work that out during the course of the show, so go grab your drink, and we will be right back.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from Trade Chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Iron Forge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of Trade Chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Belle.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies.
Then how did you eat it in the first place?
With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
I need to do the intro again. I need to fix it because it isn't quite what it should be. I also forgot that it is episode 244, and we are in patch 8.1.5 for what we think is probably about another month. Then we might see 8.2 if the 77-day cycle and foretellings in game are accurate, which, I mean, we math pretty well. Like,
well, how long did it take for Nighthold to show up? After,
I don't know, but I know that the cycle, the patch, you know, even the like in between patches, like the 0.5s or whatever, that's on a 77-day cycle. But there's that not in game that we talked about a few episodes ago where somebody said something dark side 77 days. And they're ramping up. It's already in, you know, they dropped PTR after the dev thing that occurred with Jeremy Fiesel. So I think, I mean, it's no fun predicting things anymore because they've become predictable. And that always makes me sad because I can't like brag about how awesome I am at remembering things or figuring stuff out because now every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
It comes with aging.
Yeah, it does come with aging, but thank you for joining us. If you are new to Pwnecast, my name is Belle, and I apologize in advance for many things. Too many to list, really. I brought one single writer with me today. I brought Envy. Secret, I work, ? And Rem is taking a sabbatical from anything fun. If it's anything fun related, he is not doing it. He is only doing the unfun, working and doing whatever weird stuff he does in his room. But if it's fun, he's not into it. So I don't know what that looks like for Rem. He might, you know, take a walk on the wrong side of the galaxy. Maybe he'll buy a hooker. I don't really know.
I'll send them some cash.
Yeah, like, it isn't a bad idea because remember, guys, you don't pay for the service. You pay for them to go away.
The time, the companionship.
Well, you pay for them to leave, essentially, which...
It's like paying a therapist, except...
Exactly. Except you might actually enjoy that service. Giggity ? I don't know.
Well, that's the goal. I mean,
and I love that my some of my folks at work are like into the like me starting a brothel. Like when I said this at a work meeting, which when you're out of town, work meetings when they're in the evening usually consists of drinking and you know, doing the various corporate whatever happens. But I pitched it after like the third round, and it was received quite well. So it was interesting to say the least. But Envy, hey, you and your deep voice, dude. I don't know if you like did something with your mic or maybe you're getting sick, but your voice is like.
Well, you know, I thought since I'm regrowing out the Vato thing, I'd try to stick with the Vato voice. Orale. Duh.
You can't be Russian and like does that work? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's socially acceptable.
You should figure it out. You should go to Russian experiment.
Dang. Chaos
Sorry,
has been
Lenny, if you're watching the video, but stream.
Chaos has been subbed for 11 months. 11 months we have been friends. Well, we've been friends for like a lot longer than that, but
He's not my friend.
he isn't? That's terrible. That is terrible. So, Secret, I think, is the problem with Secret, and this was always our issue, and this was why he kind of took a break from the show previously, because he works for Amazon. They pretty much own his soul, and there's no rhyme or reason to schedule. They just do whatever they want, and he just says yes. So it is and will continue to always affect his ability to be on the show. Envy and I were toying with the idea of possibly dropping this to like a bi-weekly, mostly so that when we do the show, you know, we have a good amount of stuff to talk about, and it stresses me out when there isn't people because we have real lives, and even myself. So we've been toying with the idea of possibly just going bi-weekly just because I need to make it work for me and you know, Envy, and just to make it easier. At least it's just a bi-weekly situation instead of having to be worried about it every single week. So I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing, with, of course, maybe the possibility of having another one, you know, like randomly spread in. I said spread. That is probably what we're going to be doing, so don't freak out or panic. In fact, very few shows are weekly these days, but with being director, I just need to scale back some of my outside to-do stuff, because I don't have any fun ever. And I don't want to end up like Rem. Like, I need fun in my life. I need joy. I think Envy's dying. Are you dying?
You said something. You said spread while I was taking a hit, and that messed me up.
See, that's what happens when you do things like that. I'm drinking, you're hitting, we're doing, like, we're making it happen. But yet, here I am, living the dream.
Living the dream that is WoW, and all of its glorious changes.
You know, there's a lot of stuff, and I do get excited about new content, and you know, we had some really good progression this week. Frustrating progression, but with the new raid coming, it isn't, you know, an emergency that we get stuff killed or anything like that, because it's literally just 2 bosses, and I just like to watch the World First race instead of having to worry about all that. But I know at this point I normally do the weekly reset for next Tuesday. I forgot. I was in game doing things, and I totally forgot to pull the stuff on the calendar. But I'm sure nobody gives a shit, and you all manage to live just fine not knowing what is on the calendar. But we're ending a brawl this week, so I don't imagine there'll be a brawl next week. But yeah. Yay for me for being on top of the job. Like, guys, I've been...
Golf clap.
Yeah, we're doing it. I love how the minion I made for the Discord now posts, and it posts the worst screenshot ever. It took a snapshot of the stream and put it in Discord, and it's terrible. Like, I look like I want to murder someone, which isn't that abnormal. But anyway, and it was like 7 minutes late. Weird.
And I just look like I'm hungry.
Right, and we were both like, I was literally shoving taco Cheez-Its and cookies I'm an adult, and sometimes you don't get to eat real meals. You have to make it happen. Let's talk about. There isn't anything huge in the sense of hot fixes, except some more tweaks have been done to Lady Jaina Proudmoore, which is just going to be useful for those of us who haven't killed her. And, you know, I like that we don't do everything like the first few weeks that stuff's out, because then they adjust and fix stuff, and it makes it better for me overall. Nothing else large in terms of that, and we probably won't see anything anyway, because 8.2 is literally on the horizon. Like, I think probably like May 8th, I would have to double check the cycle days, but somewhere around there. They probably won't be doing a lot of hot fixes, because they'll just rely on all that stuff. But I am going to go into PTR and check out some of the stuff, because I need to be spoiled in the sense of spoilers. So I'm going to go in there and check some stuff out. But the Crucible of the Storms, this is the 2-boss raid, which I think they compared it to... What was that boss with the hot... What was that raid with the hot chick? Everybody said she wasn't hot, but I thought she was hot. Hell yeah. What was that? Where was... There was like 3 bosses?
Raid. Oh.
Trial of Valor?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, what was that? Trial of Valor? No.
Trial of the... I know which one you're talking about.
I just went full retard. I literally just went full retard. But 2 bosses, there's story that's attached to that. There is a quest line, in fact, that should be available now, that you guys can get to go and do the things to prep for this raid coming out, which I do like that they're attaching this to, you know, that they're attaching this to quests, like, before the content actually comes out. I think it's nice that they're using that to kind of drive the story. Now, the Raid Finder, Normal, Heroic, and Mythic are going to be the, you know, it's the basic ones. And we're looking at Normal and Heroic April 16th, and April 23rd will be Mythic and Raid Finder. So the good news is, like, in addition to being able to go in Raid Finder if you don't have a guild to raid with on the 23rd, the World First race, which it's going to be a short race because there's 2 bosses, but exciting nonetheless. Like, I don't know what this looks like in terms of EU, I think, gets it before we do, right? Like, they get to start progression
typically, yeah,
before we do, like, in terms of US. I don't remember what that looked like for the previous expansion with the raid with just this many. I have no memory. I'm lucky I remembered my name, to be honest. Trial of Valor, yeah. So, like, let's go Mythic. Let's do Mythic on this boss. Envy, do you feel like we can as a group?
Well, we need 4 more people, but sure.
Mythic's what, 20?
20.
Can I bring a +1 and count as 1 person?
I mean...
Does that work?
We would just tell you to, like, go stand in a corner and die anyway, so... Got
it. That's terrible. Somebody probably would tell me that. That would hurt my feelings. Just kidding, I don't have feelings. Now, make sure you pick up the quest line, even if you don't plan on doing the raid. Like, go get your twitching eyeball. Because who doesn't want a twitching eyeball? I mean,
people that are schizophrenic.
I feel like if you're married, you have a twitching eyeball anyway. Do you feel like that's accurate?
I think I'm past that, actually. I'm more along the lines of, like, death. That just went dark real quick, didn't it?
It really did go a little dark, and I just need to call and check on your wife's safety and make sure that she...
Her safety.
I need to do a wellness check and just make sure...
This works out for you, because if I kick the bucket, you get half the house.
Yeah, I would love half of... don't even need half, I'll just take a quarter. Because me and your wife have big plans when you die. I mean, that's awkward that I said that out loud. Or if I die first, like, I have a ton of life insurance and I have all these different random coverages and different odd ways of dying where I get double the money. I was very particular, which could be, like, motive, I guess. But I was very particular in my life insurance pickings because I figured, like, if I know somebody that passed away that was like a family member that left me a ton of money, that would be like my dream, right? Like, you love me if you leave me all of your money because you want me to have a good life. And if I die, I want to leave you with everything I can money-wise and all of my debt at the same time. So it's like I gave and then I took. I gave and then I took. It's kind of mean. I'm just kidding if my husband's watching.
Bro.
Does my husband still have to pay our tax debt? That's technically my tax debt that he gets because he's married to me?
Well, you know, when you file your taxes, there is that option, filing taxes for somebody who passed away. So technically, yes. I just did my taxes, so.
I haven't done them yet. I'm going to have to get an extension because they haven't, one of my tax years, I filed all my back stuff because, you know, I was like 7 years behind. The 1 year that's like hanging up everything, they need a verification of like my identity or something.
This is a hilarious conversation. Welcome to Pwnecast. We
Yeah,
talk WoW numbers, and also tax numbers.
Yeah, because it's important that we give you reality in life, and sometimes it's taxes. Let's see. So, yeah, go get your quests for which I think it's just one. I'm just double checking to make sure it's just one, but essentially. You need...
Zelanath?
Yeah, you need to pick up the Asharian Medallion, which starts the quest, and you do it from the Naga invasions around both Zandalar and Kulteris during the Naga attack world quests. So you're gonna... Something about dark side and blah, 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 and then you get a twitching eye, and the twitching eyeball just...
There is an exception, though. If you're a priest that already has the weapon, you just get a quest, orders from Shara.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know priests anymore.
I think the wife has one.
Oh.
She might, she'll probably get it right away. Probably won't put it to any use, but, well, you know.
I love that the gift of Nazoth, his eye is upon you. Is it his Whispering Eye? Can I get that in the game somewhere? They had an opportunity to call it the Whispering Eye, and instead they called it the Twitching Eye. Why couldn't you call it the Whispering Eye? Like, how great would that have been? Because I would love the Whispering Eye.
No comment. I'm just going to note out of that one. But I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%.
Like, they missed an opportunity there for greatness, and here we are.
Copyright infringement? I mean, everybody's suing everybody for everything.
But is it a copyright infringement? Like, they don't own the words Whispering Eye.
They own the likeness from the movie.
According to who? What are they going to do? Sue me because I got a Whispering Eye toy in game? Is that, like... Can they own that?
They won't sue you. They'll just sue the vendor, which in this case is Blizzard.
I mean, they got enough PR stuff going on anyway. Might as well add one more to the pile.
Yeah, you don't need any more extra attention.
You're right, because it's BlizzCon season. And I know there's a lot of people talking. Guys, there's going to be BlizzCon. We're going to be okay.
You know what? You touched on something that was actually hilarious. They don't need the extra attention. Anybody find it hilarious that Blizzard threw out some April Fool's jokes in relation to like StarCraft and WoW and whatnot, but they left Diablo alone?
Yeah, because that's a smart PR guy. Like, whoever is now in charge of handling that kind of stuff is, like, you don't want to do things that are going to cause a riot. And people will get their pitchforks real quick. And God forbid you ask people if they have a phone. People that don't even play video games get that joke. And it is terrifying that that is what our world has become. It's just a bad dream, guys. So, Rise of Ashara. Now, so we've got these changes being made to the Heart of Azeroth, right? I'm going to be really honest. I don't understand them, so I have to go into PTR and figure it out. Stuff's happening. We got powers, we got forging and some more shit and some more shit. And basically, according to World of Warcraft, it lets Players infuse the Heart of Azeroth with essences to grant new combat-related powers. This feels like a different version of
Azerite gear.
what did we have in Legion? The Crucible, right?
Yeah.
So it just feels like they kind of maybe took stuff from that and are adapting it. I'm all for them trying new things, so it doesn't particularly bother me, but I don't understand it just based off, like, the explanation. I watched 2 videos on it today to try to, like, figure it out. I just need to go in there for myself and see what it's all about. I haven't had a chance to see, like, the community reaction to this, so I don't know what people are feeling about it.
Again, I need to be in the same boat as you. I need to go to PTR, try it out.
Yeah.
But honestly, it feels like Blizzard listened to the complaints, but executed this rather poorly. It just feels like another item for me to focus on, not just my Azerite gear, because as far as I understand, the Azerite system is still in place. Why couldn't they just add this? Maybe add an extra ring to all of your current gear. It's essentially the same thing, with the exception that you get an essence, and that essence is what you want for your DPS spec or your heal spec or whatever, right? I need that essence. I'll just go ahead and put it on this empty node in my Azerite gear. That would have saved a lot of dev time. Would have been a lot easier to implement. But again, I don't know what the system looks like until I see it in BTR.
So you get additional slots, and level 55 you get the first miner slot to be able to use the miner power, and then at 55 you get, or at 65 you get another additional one. So
Right.
honestly, I do think that this potentially could be, like, basically they said, oh, it's just adding another layer, which, okay, but if I get told that I have to have this thing to raid, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. That's all I gotta say.
Belle, you're gonna need that to read.
Yeah, because that is my problem. When we start putting things in, we're saying that we're adding to it. I'm all for that. I'm all for additional shit. The Crucible, the Netherlight Crucible is what it was. I enjoyed that because it did provide me the ability to kind of customize some of the things that I wanted to do. But it was frustrating when another Warlock had a different, they had different traits in theirs, and the difference was obvious. That kind of stuff is frustrating. But I mean, what's the alternative here at this stage in the expansion? It seems like this expansion was just released, but it wasn't. And I think that they probably struggle with some of these systems that they, might realize were broken, whatever the case may be. But what are we going to do after BFA in terms of this necklace? Like, what do you feel like the next focus is going to be on in the next expansion? We've had a weapon. We have a necklace. We've had a cloak. We've had a ring. If next expansion is some bullshit about, like, bionic boots, I'm gonna fucking riot. But, like, what's left, right? What's left to be something that's our focal point that we haven't... It's not like you can do, like... I mean, we had the belt that did a thing, right? And it allowed you to attach shit to it. It wasn't, like, the in thing, but you could have put stuff on your buckle and all that. But what's left after this? Do they just go back to...
Tier?
Yeah, to normal stuff? Like, how far ahead of the game are you, is my question. And where are we gonna see, like, maybe powerful socks or, like, the amazing girdle? I don't know. I'm curious to see where we go with that. But I don't have enough to form an opinion. I am going to go into PTR, and I just updated PTR earlier, actually. I'm going to get a good gauge on it and just see what we're looking at. And see if it's anything of value, right? Like, if it's bringing anything to me that is useful, I'm good, and that's like totally fine for me. But I don't know. If anybody's listening and or watching and you want to give me your opinion on things that you've read and watching the VOD and like all that kind of thing, you know, let me know.
Should they DM you?
I would not DM me. And then, hold on.
Oh, did I just trigger you, dear? Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
So let me explain. I get a message. I don't know who you are. I get a message, a DM in Discord, right? And that's cool, thanks. Asking me, hey, I'd like to talk to you. Who the fuck is this? Their name is Stranger. They have a nondescript image as their profile picture. We have nothing in common, right? Like, nothing in common. So the course of like going through all of this like bullshittery, I don't even know what the word is. Eventually we get to the point where they're not talking anymore because I've they don't want to talk to somebody who's confused. Because I was confused. I was like, I don't even know you. Who the fuck are you? My dude, you messaged me in a DM. I'm irritated. I had a long day at work. I'm laying here minding my own motherfucking business, eating cookies in bed. Can I help you? Then you gonna tell me you don't have time? My dude, I didn't have time when you messaged me. But like, your name is Stranger. I'm sure it's perfectly innocent. Maybe they needed something from me, but can you not tell me? Then I asked, like, who is this? Stranger is what they said. Bro, really? Because, like...
Eat a cookie. You'll feel better.
That was literally, like, my life. Like, that was my life. So, let me grab... I thought I had the link to the right stuff, but it seems to be we're going to struggle. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Guys, I'm just going to... So many things. I don't care about the loot system. Okay, so let's see. So, the cool thing is we know that we're getting the 2 new zones, right? That's exciting. It doesn't matter where you're at in terms of stages of denial in World of Warcraft, right? Because we go through many stages as gamers. And it doesn't matter if you're in the fuck everything phase, I hate the whole game, or whatever stage you're in. New zones are just that, new zones. It doesn't matter what level you're at, what stage you're in, the new zones are something that you just want to explore. It doesn't matter how mad or angry you are. It is what it is because it's something new to a world that we've been living for a really long time. So we have, is it Najidar? Am I even saying it right? I feel like I'm not. Rem's not here to correct me, so let's just keep going. And Mechagon, right? These 2 places, like Mechagon, this is a pretty big deal in terms of us being able to see it. Not only are we going to see it, but we're going to be going through a dungeon in there. And that's, while it's not particularly exciting to me in terms of, like, I don't worship, you know, the Mechanomes, but it's a new place and it's things that you've heard of but haven't been able to explore. Similar to when we got to finally go to, you know, Zandalar and Cool Terrace. Like that, these are things that we heard and we hadn't yet to be able to go there. Obviously, the new raid, Ashara's Eternal Place, or Palace, this is, you know, we've been waiting to fight her for a really long time. Almost as long as we've been waiting to fight Jaina. Would you agree with that, NV?
I would. We got like a tease of it during, what was it, Cataclysm? Mm-hmm. We like ended up just fighting her hot piece of ass of choice at the time.
Wasn't it just a different skin though, right? It was her Naga skin, wasn't it?
No, it was her Night Elf skin. This was before the Sundream.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was always, anytime I read any of like the books or whatnot or read up on the lore, it was made very evident that Ashara was very, very, very beautiful. I'm gonna have to give that title to what's her name? Jesus, I just drew a blank. I'm struggling here now. Leader of the Night Elves, Tyrande.
You think she's the hottest?
I think out of the two, she's the hotter.
I think
hottest one.
Tyrande's ugly.
She just has like a deep envy voice, evidently.
I just think she's ugly in terms of like all the pretty. I don't think she's it.
I didn't think Ashara was all that either.
I don't think she's cute either. She just doesn't.
Fine. Elisand. I thought Elisand was hotter. It was almost a shame to kill her.
No, Elisand was hot. Like, I won't even lie. She was hot. And, you know, Jaina, for all of my past issues with her, she's pretty sweet.
She's like the girl next door, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, she might make you legit. I don't know. Maybe even you, Envy. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, she does get around, evidently, based on our previous Twitch.
Guys, I'm not saying she's been everywhere, but I'm saying she's pretty much been everywhere.
She has been everywhere. She's a mage. She can teleport.
Well, it's not good to be that girl that has that reputation, right? Like, you don't want to be that girl that everybody has slept with. Like, I know some of them. I was best friends with one of them. Like, you don't want to be that girl. It's just not fun for anyone. You want to be the one that's hard to catch, right? Like, that's the girl you need to be. You need to be like Maev with her smoking 20 packs a day self. With her deep, manly, hairy vocal cord voice.
I mean, you kind of see her during Legion. You have to go save her in that quest.
And Sylvanas is hot.
I mean, if you're in a necrophilia, I mean, probably would think about it.
I've never tried it, so I don't know. I'm not going to take it off the table, right? Because
don't knock it till you try it.
Exactly. But you know, she's hot, and you know, all of the Windrunner sisters anyway are like, they're all relatively pretty good looking. Most of them.
And then there's Arthas, who's hot as hell with that wavy hair of his. You know, when they redid his model during that Jaina cutscene, I'm like, man, it's freaking some Fabio stuff over here. I want to know who does his hair.
He reminds me of he literally reminds me of like Fabio. Just in general. Hi guys, welcome General Fabian and Rover Mike. I don't think Illidan and I have a problem with his grill. He's like dangerously close to what could be meth mouth.
I don't know. He had a pretty legit smile when he gave that like creepy. I don't know if you remember this meme video of like this one dude who's just like drinking water. He's just like. That's what I got from Illidan when he was talking to what's his face. I'm terrible with names. I'm so sorry, but the leader of the Draenei. He's basically like they're on a conversation about fate and how it controls us. Like, no, fate doesn't control us. And he gives that creepy stalker pedo smile. Like, this is some like Chris Hansen stuff going on right here. Like, I feel uncomfortable just watching this, and I want to.
Where is Chris Hansen when you need him?
Probably.
Does he handle anything besides underage stuff? Because I have some.
Well, we know he ain't handling his finances, so...
I have some things I would like him to investigate and work on.
Iana Hazakostas, go ahead and take a seat. Just take a seat.
Oh my god, that would be... We should do some type of, like, I don't know. This is... I thought I was onto something really funny, and then I realized that I absolutely wasn't. But I think, like... I don't know, I always kind of had a thing for Khadgar. I know that's really weird, because they aged him really quickly, and they didn't... I expected different in the aging process, and that isn't what they did. But... I don't know, I always thought he was...
It's probably the same thing in, whatchamacallit, Stormwind. Let me rephrase. They probably haven't changed the model, but in Stormwind, when you're walking down the Valley of Heroes, and all those giant statues, right? And one of them's listed as Khadgar. He's bald.
Oh. Like they forgot to put hair on him?
They might have changed it. I haven't been a Stormwind in forever, but...
I always thought there was, like, something that made me, I don't know. It's like, how can I describe it? It's almost like I went full, like a Sean Connery type of thing. Like, you know how there's those male actors that it doesn't matter how old they are, they're just boss. Like, it doesn't matter how old they are. It just gets, like Harrison Ford. I don't really particularly think he's an attractive man. I never have. However, he holds his age quite well. And I like that our characters in game seem to do that when they, like, super aged Khadgar from, like, one expansion to the other. It was really, like, weirded out. I didn't know what was going on because it wasn't, like, a slow aging process. He went from, like, awkward young model to, like, super old man with gray hair. But, like, I'd like to see him settle down. His work's coming to an end soon where he can pass, you know, even though he's not the Guardian, but we know he's the Guardian because he's wielding the Guardian staff. Like, clearly that makes you a Guardian whether you want to admit it or not. But, like, he's getting old. It's time for him to retire. Find yourself a young wife and go live on the shores of, you know.
Why is it gotta be a wife?
I mean, I'm not judging. If it's
Khadgar.
If it's
whatever you
Cabana Boy you're into, like, it's cool. I'm not judging. I'm in. But, like, go to Suramar and retire on the beach. Let other people worry about the fate. Like, I don't know. Yeah, where is Thrall? Like, where is Thrall? I ask that, like, once a year, I swear. He did kind of peace out.
Golel, you mean?
Where did he go? The last time we seen him was
The Battlefront and Legion as an Alliance character. He was a part of that Battlefront, the initial invasion of the Broken Shore. And of course he bitched out because, you know, what, as does Horde, they bitch out, and yeah.
You're right about that. He actually did that in, well, everybody knows I bitch about it every chance I get, but Orgrimmar. Oh, a fight where he lets us deal with Garrosh. He just, like, gets bitch slapped and is like, ew, that hurt. I gotta go hold up the world now with my shaman totems. That was immature, guys. That was immature. So, the 2 new zones, I'm excited for the, you know, the Naga zone, because I think it's kind of a happy medium between all the things that I like visually. I didn't like the, what's that damn dungeon that I hated doing on Mythic Plus?
All the time?
In Legion. The water. Might have been the Eye of Ashara, matter of fact.
The one I hated was Cathedral.
I actually liked Cathedral.
I take that back. Cathedral wasn't the worst. It was the one, God, in a Macquarie, that one dungeon where you have to cross all those, like, circles of cancer and crap.
Macquarie,
whatever. I'm thinking Overwatch right now.
I loved, well, everybody knows that, like, I loved so many things in Legion. Legion was a good comeback story for Blizzard. I was really happy with that. But I'm gonna go check this stuff out in PTR, but I dig the vibe visually. It has, like, colors that are very Sumerian in nature. I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up. And then Mechagon, again, I'm not a super, like, I love gnomes, don't get me wrong. I love all the gnomes. I have gnomes, like, I love the gnomes. But it hasn't really been anything that's been on my, like, bucket list in terms of things I want to see in World of Warcraft before I die. But I was checking it out, and, you know, I might have to take some of that back because it looks pretty legit. Like, a lot of the visuals, I haven't went in there and checked it out, but I'm pretty excited about that. There's a lot of different loots, different types of loot that are reflective of the environment. Like, you can get a trinket that you collect punch cards and you socket them to customize the trinket for yourself, which is kind of a cool little, like, you know, I like when they do things like that. I like when they do things that are not implementing legendaries and giving them to everybody and their mother, and then you go a year without them, and then you give them to everybody and their mother again. Like, I like when they do little things like the tools of the trade. That was neat. It was, I think I have to complete half of the other one, but like those types of things where they kind of add to and give it some flavor instead of like the expected things that we get with new content. I appreciate that. The dungeon, we haven't had a gnome-based dungeon since Gnome are gone, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, unless there's another gnome.
You're right, it's Gnome are gone.
Yeah, and I like gnome gadgets. I like the questing in Fizzlecrank is one of my favorite sets of quests going through in there, which is, it's awkward that would be kind of on my list of favorites, but I like that they're very feisty. I like they're feisty, and they always have like a feisty response when it comes to like the RP and the interaction. It's not boring, that's for sure. So I'm pretty happy about that. The Heart of Azeroth stuff, I'll go into more detail next show when I've had a chance to go through and kind of see what it's all about. And so let's see. Mount equipment. So I guess I'm going to have to test this as well, but you can add new priorities to your mounts. Prevent from being dazed, water walking, a parachute when you jump too high. I got to be really honest. I thought that was very creative. I think giving players the ability to get things that modify their saddles on their mounts to do a thing, like the stirrups. I love the stirrups every expansion. Not for anything weird, Envy, I see you. I see you with your creeper smile. Not for anything weird, but I think that that's a fabulous idea, because the Water Strider is an example that was used. I worked really hard to get mine because I needed it. I'm not a DK. I don't have water walking. And I know a lot of people who are like, fuck, I wish I would have done that rep, and I wish I would just get in there and do it now. But I think being able to customize that stuff, you know, by being able to add the equipment, I think is actually really smart. I'm not going to lie. I think that was pretty amazing. I don't know if they stole that idea from another game. I don't really give a fuck if they did or they didn't. I think it was pretty smart.
I mean, they had it at one point, right? Remember the carrot trinket? Carrot on a stick?
Very, very vaguely.
It was, I remember this during vanilla, Christ. It just increased your movement speed by like, I think it was 5%. Don't quote me, but it was like 5%. But you had to have that trinket equipped, otherwise it wouldn't work. And you know, when you like run over, dismount, you're gonna have to automatically switch out trinkets anyway. Vanilla was a brutal beast, but we made it work.
I'm not gonna start talking about how excited you are for Classic, are you?
No, I don't. I do not.
I gotta tell you guys, you fucking Classic fans on Twitter are like fucking Raiders fans. It's seriously the amount of times I scroll and just, I want to word vomit. Not because I don't want people to be excited. Be excited about whatever you want. Do your thing. I think Method's going to be doing, they're probably going to be doing some raid races and like a ton of shit in Classic. That's fantastic. That is great. But seriously, of all of the fan bases and all of the world when it comes to gaming, Classic is the worst. Because for every good thing I see about WoW being tweeted, here comes some Classic fuckhead shitting all over current WoW with his, God, I can't wait for Classic so we don't have to deal with this, blah, 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 blah. Seriously, they're like Raiders fans.
They, why? Let's just call them any football fan. I'm a 49er fan. I know I'm going to get hate later, but you don't know how salty I was when, well, you probably do, when the Niners lost to the Ravens. I'm sorry for bringing up sports, but it's going to happen.
I don't understand it enough to know if I should be angry with you or
I was
Like,
super salty. You know, the team made it to the Super Bowl. Like, we're gonna win it because statistically we won the last 5, and that didn't happen. And it's just like, oh man, had we done this, everything in hindsight makes sense, right? For instance, like calling a pass interference call during a certain Saints game that nobody cares about the Saints to begin with, but yeah, everything makes sense in hindsight. Uh, Classic, nothing made sense. Rogues use shields. Freaking hunters use swords. Nothing made sense. And for people, that's okay. That's fine. The rules don't apply. They can just go back to where they were comfortable. Perfectly fine. I'm a fan for it, but I'm not going to play it because I don't need to relive like all those college days where I'm like putting a fried egg into my
yeah.
ramen. That's all I could afford, and I want to be classy.
Where you've been eating ramen for a goddamn week because you just paid tuition. You have a choice of either drinking on the weekend when you're done with exams or eating ramen all week. And like a true adult, you were like, fuck it, let's eat the ramen because I want to drink this weekend. The problem that I have with it is already I see it. Can we get improvements here? Can we get improvements here? I already see it. I already see all the things that you guys want changed and improved. And I'm using you guys as a blanket statement because I've had some drinks and I don't give a shit. But like... fuck off with your improvements. Improve it yourself. Like, anyway, the first thing that's going to happen tomorrow is I'm going to have Jimma in my fucking tweets because I'm going to have to hear his mouth on I need to just let people love it. And that's fine. I can let people love it in their own bubble. In my bubble, no. My bubble is about smoking meats and tacos.
I mean, I'm all for the tacos.
Not smoking meats?
Well, that takes time. Those ribs were gorgeous, though.
I know. I did make my first smoked ribs. I did smoke chicken too. The chicken's a learning curve.
Did you give it to the goat? I mean, your husband?
No, he loved it. Like, he loved it. But I am very particular. I need to tweak and smoke it less duration.
Yeah, be careful when you say tweak. I'm from the Central Valley, California. That's an entirely different meaning for me.
No meth involved, I promise. Although I might be less grumpy. I don't really know. So, mount equipment, I'm all for it. I think it's fantastic. I think we're getting flying, literally, guys. We're like a month away from flying. And, again, I don't dislike not flying. I'm totally fine spending the first half of the expansion not flying. It doesn't bother me. But I gotta tell you, the other day... it's pretty late, and I miss my turn, and I end up in the water by the boat in Borealis, and I literally think, fuck, I hope nobody saw that. And then here goes a guilty. I saw that, Belle. Fuck, of course you did. So I had tweeted that that's like the real-life equivalent of, like, falling on your face in front of a group of people, or, like, falling in a crowded room and hoping nobody notices. But I'm just excited to explore. There's things that I want to go see and I want to go check out. And I think that I've decided I'm going to finish leveling my druid. But before I actually finish leveling the druid, I'm going to finish leveling the... I'm going to finish leveling my horde so that I want the achievements for going through both stories. So it might be like an in tandem because we're getting to the portion of the expansion where there's still stuff to do. But... I have a lot of free time on my hands in WoW when I'm able to play. Mostly because I don't have friends anymore in game. And I'm okay with that. This isn't a sad, poor Belle story. Like, Envy's bringing more friends to the guild, which is super great. But, like, let's be real. All of my friends are fucking retarded. So, okay, except for Chaos and except for Envy. Secret never falls into that because Secret's like a friend for, like...
Consider me your friend.
But, like, the core group that I played with, I don't play with them, and I just realized that makes me really sad. I think I might be WoW depressed, guys. This is why you shouldn't drink. I think I might be WoW depressed. Because I get on there and I do things, but I talk to the guild, but I don't, not like I used to where I always did stuff. That's sad. Oh, guys, I'm pathetic. Whoa.
If it makes you feel better, like, I'm in the same boat, none of the friend stature, but I'm getting to the point where WoW's becoming a chore. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying the game, but between work, coming home to a home that has its own set of issues.
Don't you talk that way about Lena.
No. I was getting to the pugs next. I mean, Lena.
She's gonna stab you.
It's a bit much, especially like if you miss like a few days, you're like, oh man, I gotta catch up on 3 days worth of emissaries. I gotta make sure I do my Mythic Plus. It becomes, it just starts becoming a job.
And it's hard to coordinate with people when you're on a different, like, I want to do stuff, so I have to, like, go in and get what I need done at the times that I could go in. But, I mean, you've been bringing a lot of people to the guild, which I've been super, like I was telling my husband the other day, I'm like, you know, I don't have anybody to play with, and he's been bringing people hand over fist. Like, and they're all my type of dudes. Like, every one of them are, like, you know, my type of people. But, you know, Kiko, I feel you, and the good news is, like, we will rebuild. That is what we do, and I'm not down and out for long. But since I'm in that where my normal groove of things in gaming, I'm rather independent, it's that time for me to start doing the things that I normally do at that portion of the expansion, which is the extra stuff that I didn't get a chance to do outside of, like, raiding and battlegrounds and, you know, the war mode, which has not came off yet, guys. I told you I was committed. I was committed to not being part of the problem when it came to world PvP, and I have kept that commitment even when I got trained and teabagged in my very own flight path, which I've done that to people, so that's terrible that I didn't expect it.
So copy on building a raid full of hordes to Camp Bell.
Right. I think we're in a good place for a change up, and you know, I think people don't realize that there's a disconnect and a connection between your gaming life and your personal life when that is your life, right? Like, Belle doesn't really have, outside of work and my children, I cut a lot of those things that I used to do kind of out. Like, I don't really do the videos anymore. You know, I lessened my role with Method. I stepped back from the YouTube stuff. I don't even go all in like I used to in terms of, like, being so serious about the show, because I needed to just, you know, I got to do stuff and I got to be an adult, and I take this director thing really serious. And I think when the new content as it comes out, like, it's that time where I get really excited because I get to go explore. I get to go explore the different places, and I want a fucking mechano wheel mount. I don't even know if that would make me sick riding it, but I'm ready to find out. Like, are you in, Envy? Let's go.
I'm happy with my mount. I got the only mount I'll ever need as a DK, Invincible. It's true.
The Tidal Guardian looks scary.
I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, the Tidal Guardian looks scary. So the mechano wheel is essentially like the hamster wheel that, it's not a hamster wheel, but it's like the motorcycle that's like the wheel on the bus goes round it. And then, of course, the crab. And a customizable mechano cat. Okay, thanks. Those are things that, like, it's cool for other people. It really isn't my get down. Obviously, we're going to go through some additional war campaign stuff. Torn and Gnome Heritage Armor. Angie, you've been waiting for this your whole entire life. Your whole gnome life, you have been waiting for this Gnome Heritage Armor. And it is, like, days away from being in your grasp. How stoked are you?
Oh, if it's just a gnome, you know, I'm sure it was just a short wait. I need to stop drinking, evidently. No, I don't.
Just my third. I got room for probably 2 more. So you'll be able to fly in the 2 new zones as well, assuming you've unlocked that. There's plenty of time, if you haven't been working on the Pathfinder stuff, to finish it out so that you can unlock the flying next month. But it's, like, super easy. But let me tell you what I am excited about. Heroic Warfronts. That's what I'm excited about. Am I the only one excited about Heroic Warfronts?
Those should be pretty interesting, actually. I'm a fan for any change, to be perfectly honest, as long as it's sensible and reasonable. None of this like PvP or brawl versus comp stomp BS.
I know, I'm so angry at that. I'm so angry.
And like Valerian said, better gear is always better. Apart from like alts and, new players, how often do veterans or people who've been playing the game for a while do like the battle for strong grade or whatever?
How much have you had to drink?
A lot.
I do the Warfronts when the quest reward is a 400 piece. Like if it's a piece possibility, I do it, but it isn't engaging after the first one. And that isn't because I want to complain. It's just when you do things like that, repetition isn't always fun. The island expeditions where it was repetition, they took and sucked all the fucking fun right out of those goddamn things, and now it isn't fun, and I have not stepped into one since the first 2 months of the expansion because it isn't fun. It isn't. It brings zero value, although they're adding two new expeditions. I'll go in and check those out because I haven't been there. But it's going to be a one-trick pony. Give me the ability to have heroic, maybe even mythic level Warfronts. All right. I see you.
But again, once you get the gear that you need from it, how often are you going to do it?
Well, I think that's a thing that I think that's something they attempted to solve with Island Expeditions, but missed the mark because it was cosmetic, right? I think they had a really good idea with the Island Expeditions, but they set the expectation of the cosmetic gear to such a level that I feel like that could have potentially been as big as dungeons in the mythic form. Because I think even to this day, Mythic Dungeons is still the smartest fucking thing they've done in a really long time in terms of implementing something to keep things new and fresh throughout an entire expansion. I don't care what you complain about in World of Warcraft, that is literally the single-handed smartest fucking thing they've ever done. Because the way through...
Diablo.
Yep. Well, and you have a phone. So... get ready for Diablo Mobile. That's the second. But I would like to see them acclimate that into some other areas, and maybe they can, maybe they're smart enough, but putting heroic Warfronts, I think that's a step in the right direction. I would like, if you're giving me the version of heroic to choose instead of the regular, you just step up the game on the item level, make it worth me going in there and dealing with a potential group of fucking morons who don't know what they're doing and don't ever do what they're supposed to do, and they're busy fighting on fucking roads instead of doing the objectives and, the strategy in which you need to do. But that's just playing with people in general. Playing with randoms on the internet's my favorite. This is why I don't play like League of Legends or even, I don't know, my tolerance level for the group versus the tiny group is just, it's...
Don't let that distract you from the fact.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But everybody, don't pay attention to her. I drag her along on Mythics with like 4 other people that she knows, and even then, it's like, God damn it, Belle, just jump down. They'll follow you.
I do pretty good most of the time. Pretty good.
The other time, it's me like, come down, just no.
Oh yeah,
me.
If I haven't eaten, it's a bad day.
It's like every day.
I know.
I feel like you're anorexic. Callista Flockhart over here. Are you a lawyer? Do you have 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines?
No, I don't have any Honda Civics.
Honda
Civics are not for old white ladies. Like those. I need to be in a minivan apparently, but I'm not gonna do it. Strathholm Pet Battle Dungeon. I know a lot of you pet battlers are in. I know you're excited. I know you're stoked to go do whatever weird shit you pet battlers do. But It's times like this when we talk about pet stuff that I miss Jim. And then he tweets about Pokemon, and I'm like, nah, I don't miss him. Just kidding, Jim. I know you're watching this. I think he thinks that I say things on accident, and everything is purposeful. All the shade that I throw, guys, it's how I work out my issues. It's better than therapy. Ashran's coming as an epic battleground. Here's the thing. I was prepared to talk a bunch of shit. I actually am not. I'm going to check it out. I want to see... Yeah, and then I'll talk shit. But I want to see... I want to see what have they done to make it an epic battleground. I liked Ashran when it first came out. I had a blast. In fact, a lot of my really, really happy times during what many call the shittiest expansion ever, I didn't have a problem with it, but I loved Ashran. Then they did a bunch of things and screwed it up, and then we had the what was that group? The Avengers, where they did the things and they got you in so that you could complete your stuff, and I spent a lot of time in there farming the parts that you needed for the auctioneer. I have very fond memories of Ashran. Not after 2 years, right? But initially I had very fond memories. And actually that was like the bulk of like, me and Friza did a lot of stuff daily in Ashran where we just like turned and burned. And then my husband, of course, like I had very fond memories. So I'm definitely going to go check it out. And I'm kind of excited. I hope it brings some type of value. Even if it's like new armor, like whatever, let's do it. But the picture... I think they're trying to like insinuate that there may be new armor. But yeah, like I'm ready. All the stuff that is coming out for 8.2, obviously some of the things like the necklace I want to test, but I'm pretty excited. I haven't got to check out the changes to Wintergrasp and what is it, Tolberard? Did they redo? I just lost my memory in mid-sentence.
Tolberad?
I don't fucking know.
That's how you pronounce it, but I don't know if that's...
I've been talking to the same dude all fucking day who says mobile instead of mobile, and he's the fucking lead of the mobile department, and he says mobile. No, he says mobile. Then, halfway through the call, I realize I'm saying it like he's saying it. You know how you think, like, if you talk with a Spanish accent... they'll understand you if they don't understand English. Like, if you acclimate to, like, their accent, they'll totally understand English better. You all know you have white people that do that shit. Where they say things, like, they say English things, but with, like...
I don't do that.
Well, because you're not a white yuppie. I'm saying, like... It's the thought process that if I say it with their accent, it'll somehow make them understand all the knowledge of the English language if that's not their first language.
Do you?
Yeah, understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Exactly. Yeah, I am your white people. But I'm not the white yuppie people. I might be, actually.
You have a misleading Spanish last name, so I don't know.
When my mail comes, my mail comes with the Spanish side, the side that shows, because they flip it over, and normally, like, if they think you're white, you get the white version. But yeah, the Spanish side shows first, and I'm like, seriously, that's fucking racist. Like, whoa. I'm excited for 8.2. I'll be more excited when I get to go into PTR and check stuff out, but.
I'm excited for the new raid, even if it's just 2 bosses. I get bored really easily, and I mean, I stick through whatever group I'm in. And I'll continue wiping until we get the job done. But you get to a point where it gets stale. You need something new, even if it's just 2 bosses. Killing those 2 bosses will help me complete the other raid that I'm struggling with. I'll do it.
I'm not that guy. I'm that guy that gets pissed off that it's 4 months and we're still halfway through heroic. I'm that guy. But it's just because, like...
What do you mean we're halfway through heroic?
Are we halfway? I don't even know. How many bosses are we? 5? 4?
Oh, the guild has killed. Yeah, 4.
I don't
I've killed
pug.
9, but
I don't pug. We pugged a healer when we did a mythic, and how well did it fucking go? I'm telling you, I have bad... Me and pugs don't agree with each other.
they agree with me.
Well,
Actually, they agree
you know
with
why? Because you are you, and you have all of the patience, and I don't know how you have the patience you do. I'm huffing and puffing second damn pull.
I was talking about my dogs, but yeah, it's the same thing. And the thing is, like, one of the things that I tell everybody who just hates Puggy, like, I don't like it either, but it's a means to an end. And sure, you're gonna wipe countlessly. Did you complete the mythic? Did you complete the key? That's all that matters. If you don't complete it and it's really going that bad, just leave. Everybody's going to think you're a D-bag anyway. Just leave. I don't care. Sure, block me. I'll make sure I'd never party with you ever again. But I'm going to do what I need to do to get geared.
What if... I felt like I was going somewhere, and then it... Gone. Gone. It's just...
It's normal for you.
Totally, like it's not even there. My daughter graduates next month. She's in the middle of an anxiety meltdown, which is why I was checking my phone. She is stressed and doesn't realize that's what it is. She's freaking out. She's graduating on the 18th, and college is coming up, and you know, she's ready. She's more prepared than I was at her age, and she's the smarter of my 2 daughters. And honestly, she's like a parent's dream in terms of children. She works every night. Like, she's literally the parent's dream, but because she's like me and she's an overachiever and she never shows weakness, she's internalized it all. So she's like, I don't know why I'm freaking out. I think I'm going to quit my job early so that I could just rest. I shouldn't be this stressed out. And she's got prom this weekend. Mom got her a cool corsage. Like, they're buying a party bus for the prom. I'm not about, like, not doing a party bus. I'm in. Like, I'll go. But they're not partying in it. It's just to drive them there and drop them off. Like, why are you just lighting your money on fire? Like, I'll make a party bus out of my car and you could just pay me and I'll give you guys a good time. But yeah, so
here's the booze, here's the lines of Coke, have at it, girls.
Yeah. I mean, basically, like, let me help you. But she's mid-meltdown, and I'm pretending like it's not happening because every time I turn around, there's another reminder that she is literally days away from being an adult, and it's terrifying. For me, not her. Like, she's gonna be just fine. She has her whole life ahead of her, but, like, it makes me really sad because you raise them and then they go away and then they don't need you anymore, and you're like, wow, that sucks. I've experienced a lot of loss over the last 2 years, guys. I think I might be broken, actually.
You know, it sounds like you need a pug. I'll send you one.
Well, you're coming next month, so that's going to be great. We're going to smoke meats and drink and maybe shit on the neighbor's lawn. I don't know.
More than likely.
Sometimes Sharon pisses me off, so maybe I might want to shit on her porch.
You know, Hank will certainly tag along, I'm sure.
Who the fuck is Hank? Oh, took me a second. Sorry. But in terms of WoW stuff, I mean, there's a lot that's coming up, and storyline-wise, does anybody have any theories now that we've experienced more, like, through the story where it's kind of showing itself a tiny bit? I'm curious as to where the tinfoil hats are going to be in terms of where we're going next. Like, although we still have time in the expansion, I'm trying to think of the info we got at BlizzCon as to how many. Like, it feels like we're winding down to where we have, like, I don't know, how much time would you say we have left in this expansion, Envy?
Give or take another year and a half.
No way.
The last expansion always drags out.
The last expansion of what?
Sorry, last raid.
Oh, the last patch? Well, when... So the expansion dropped August last year?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Classic better not be a fucking content filler for my live WoW shit, because you want to see a pissed off bitch on the internet, you are going to see a hellfire rain down on the fucking Twitter sphere if I have to wait because they threw Classic out there as a means to fucking stave off the starving, unloved vagabonds. That was really good, actually. Envy, what did you do this week in WoW? We're gonna wind things down.
Oh, let's see. You completed a +10 already.
You did a 10?
A keystone. I want to make that evidently clear.
Thanks for the invite.
I'm still gonna do them. I do them all week. Call. This one I just pugged with my normal.
Oh.
Good news. The guild has downed a new boss. We're now struggling with Conclave, which is not an easy boss. Conclave is easier than Blockade Heroic, but you know that I'm happy about that. I'm happy that the guild has a new kill and we can move on to something new. Yeah, it's mainly been raiding, keystoning, and working.
So we're raiding, right? Now, Heroic, of all the boss fights, like, Conclave is a pretty easy boss fight to understand. So, I have a thing about muscle memory. And the muscle memory, in terms of, you tell me once, I will always remember. Especially when it's something that I either screwed up a lot before, or when it's something I'm stressed will wipe the raid. So, like, it's muscle memory for me. Well, we changed up the order in which we kill these fucking guys. So I'm confused. I'm not on the right boss, even though he said, like, we're on this boss. Mentally, I'm like, this is drilled into me. However, the fucking, what are the Raven Stalkers? Is that what they're called? The dinosaurs?
The Ravenous Stalkers, the Raptors.
Yeah, the Ravenous Stalkers. Listen, we put gates all the way around, right? We had 3 warlocks. We just put gates in different directions. I use the gate to get away. I port, and right behind me is that same fucker I ported from. And for those who haven't been through it in Heroic, it's terrible. Once they're in a certain yards from you, they basically slash you once and you're dead. Yeah. So in between each pull, this motherfucker keeps saying, you guys gotta watch. And then we have a new guy who isn't new. He raids with Envy, and they're all these guys are like super knowledgeable. They're like really good raiders. But he keeps saying, like, if you don't know how to dodge the Raven Stalkers, I'm getting irritated, okay, guys? Like, I am gonna fucking murder if somebody says the words, if you need help finding the one that's stalking you, or like all these things every pull. I don't need to be told that I need to get away from them. I am fucking aware. 2, I don't need to be told that I need to improve it, as does, it wasn't just me, it was like the whole raid. We don't need to keep being told. Here. We know.
That's the key point, though.
But we know.
Do we, though?
Because we do.
We keep valuing the same stuff every once in a while.
I have push to talk on. I'm cursing up a fucking storm, yelling at these goddamn things.
This is how you know it's a bad raid night.
And it's just raid things. Like, it's you know, it's Envy's job to, in between each pull, and when I'm not grumpy, I'm asking, okay, what did we do wrong? Because I'm not understanding why we keep wiping here. Like, what is it we need to focus on? We just keep re-pulling, and I need to know. But I was getting irritated because I was trying so hard to avoid. And I even used my gate, and here this motherfucker was behind me because they swapped targets, and they Rochambeau. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball and a wrench.
So the gate. The gate makes sense because when you take a gate as a tank, you drop all aggro. Same applies to you. You take that gate, that raptor's not going to fuck with you anymore.
But a new one is. Oh.
Well, that one's just going to be... How are you? Sup, girl?
That actually makes sense now. Rem, if you missed the beginning of the show, Secret is... I don't fucking know. And Rem is doing things that are not fun.
He's being an adult, which...
Yeah, anything that is not fun in life is what he's doing currently. The rules are no fun for Rem until he doesn't have to adult. I don't know. He might be. He might already be married with kids. I have no idea.
Actually, we said that he's being an adult, not having a funeral.
Right. Like, he might have kids. He might have 20 at this point. With dogs and cats and the whole nine. I don't honestly know.
Tax break, though.
Nothing is off the table. He might have twins. Children. Don't make it weird. So, yeah, we're holding down the fort while everybody, does their thing.
For now, you gotta deal with our drunk, uneducated asses.
I've had some drinks because it's been a day. It's a good day. Like, I know I post a lot, or I don't post a lot, but when I do post, it's like work stress and like all these things. Don't misunderstand. I am having the time of my life. And the reason I'm having the time of my life is because...
Sorry.
Don't make me break out in song. It is a lot of juggling and learning how to be okay with just doing random stuff in game and still, like, I get on the computer every night. Every single fucking night. Win, lose, or draw. I do my WoW. After I do my WoW, I rotate through various different games. And, like, I play Star Trek Online. I play Atlas. I play Ark. Like, I just rotate some things that take my mind off of, whatever I'm thinking about after I do my WoW stuff. But, no, you can't message me at 3 a.m. and then tell me I'm bothering you, fucking moron. Can you believe that shit happens? I do. I play Star Trek Online. I also play the phone version, but yeah, I do play it online. I'm in a fleet and we do weird things. But I just play lots of different things that whatever gets me out of my work stuff. But when I post about work, like, the nature of life is to complain about work because that's what we do. But I love what I do. I make a difference, and it has been like nothing I have ever felt before, like, in terms of what I'm doing. I'm appreciated, I'm valued, and I want to kill myself most days, but it feels so good to get back what you put in on like my content creation, right? Like, I have you guys, and you guys are awesome, like every one of you, but this matters in the sense of, like, this is tangible. It matters. I might not be, like, Trade Chat famous, but I'm a fucking director of a multi-million-dollar company. So, like, I'll take it. I'll take it. And it's good work. Like, it's good. I make a difference, and not everybody can say that. And Envy's in line for director too, we think, or he wants, or who do we have to kill to get that position for you, Envy?
We don't have to kill anybody, especially since my boss watches the show, but
Hi, Alex!
I'm just trying to do my best, is all you. I hope you see that.
Alex, can you please promote him? Like, he deserves it. Just give him a promotion.
Don't listen to her. Just focus on my work, that's all.
Give him a promotion. Give him that director. But congratulations to Alex, who's now, like, Super Saiyan director, right? He's, like, the top...
Senior director.
So there's like a senior and then like a not senior, and if they get into an argument, he trumps the other.
So basically you're director, and then somebody above you would either be a senior director or an AVP. And Alex can't promote me. The AVP can, though, and...
Oh, we're sucking up to the wrong person.
But he can influence said AVP, so...
So Alex needs to take this dude out for drinks.
Oh, we do that already. Actually, we all had drinks in Russia. It was kick-ass.
What happens in Russia stays in Russia. I don't have a director above me. I have the COO, which I don't know which is worse at this point. Because he... You have to be okay telling your executive officers no, right? Like, you have to be okay with saying, look, I can't do it the way you wanted to do it. I have to do it this way because it doesn't make sense. And I've learned that this week, that you have to be okay with saying, I can't. But I can do this, but I can't do this because you're fucking insane when you tell me you want this done on a Thursday night and it's literally release night and you want to do all these changes. I don't got time for that. I got a life. I don't really, but you don't have to know that. But yes, so it is good, and you know, I am in this thing of smoking meats. Envy's giving me a lot of ideas, and when he comes into town next month, he's
We're gonna smoke a brisket. It's gonna happen.
The other day, I made my husband take me to the store so I could multitask and do emails and stuff on my phone. And we couldn't find any brisket, and I was pissed off. I was like, fuck, why isn't there any fucking brisket? So we didn't get any brisket. I didn't go to the right store.
Go to Costco.
Well, and I could go, like, Walmart has actually really good meat. The Walmart, not this one,
actually.
but they have a really good, like, their stuff's kind of on the higher end, so it's a little bit more expensive. And I know that's weird for me to say about Walmart, but their meat stuff, when it comes to their expensive meats, on a whole other level. But my grocery store only has, like, the brisket and stuff when it's seasonal in terms of, like, holidays. So, like, 4th of July, like, they'll have it for Memorial Day. But I think I'm going to go see the butcher, because... Did you say you could go to your club and pick up meat? What does that mean?
I'm not opposed to that idea either, Val.
What is that? Oh, Sam's Club. Oh, yeah, I guess, actually, I did forget I could go to Sam's Club because they have really giant meat. Well, he said Sam's Club. Is it a secret joke?
He was responding to you something else.
It's
okay. You're so pretty.
I've had a couple drinks, guys.
Oh, that's what caused it.
So since we're ending the show... Oh, what did I do? Did I tell you what I did?
No, you didn't, other than...
Raid, which was really great. Kind of. I was really hangry. So I was a little grumpy.
She is a total pain in the ass. I'm sorry.
And then the guild's really needy when Raid first starts. So I'm trying to shove the stuff that is not good cold first, right? That's the stuff you have to eat first because it's not going to be good. So I'm literally like hand over fist shoving food in my mouth, and the guild keeps asking me for shit, and I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to eat my burger, stop. I had to get caught up on my world quests. I was a little bit behind in terms of like the ones that matter to me. I've been through all of my war resources because in between I do them on my phone too, the missions. So I got that done. I realized that I didn't finish where we're at right now in the war campaign because last time I tried to do, I think I'm on the very last part in terms of what just came out. I got teabagged and camped, and it was a big ordeal, and I just said, fuck this, I'll do it tomorrow when I'm less grumpy. But I think I'm going to, I want to check out the revamp Epic Battlegrounds. I think I want to go do that, and I want to level. But I did random stuff. I did a lot of auction stuff. I was kind of checking. It's weird how the economy is. Like, I made a lot of gold last week, but then for 2 months I didn't make any. It's weird how it kind of fluctuates. I don't know that I understand it. But I tried to do Mythic Pluses, but every time I want to do them, nobody ever, like, it's just me, Envy, and maybe a third, and we can't get anybody else. It's only when I want to do them. When I don't want to do them, I hear tales of how they did 10s and 11s and...
Well, you know what? I never get a text message from you when you want to do them, so...
You're right. You're right. I have to be comfortable just being like, yo, let's do shit.
Well, you always know that it'll be you.
I don't have to worry about you sleeping with a married woman because you're already married. So there's a lot of pluses to be said because I did say recently I didn't want any more friends. But I don't have to worry about that. And the same with Chaos. He's married and has a kid. So I think those things
What if me and Chaos develop something?
Wouldn't that be some shit? Lena would probably like that, as would I. I'm just throwing that out there.
Chaos.
Sometimes we need breaks. I'm not saying we want to watch. I'm just saying sometimes throw my husband in there, now you got a party. But so we're probably going to do, I'm going to sleep on it and see how it feels. It might be likely that we might do bi-weekly. It could just be a thing where I was just really frustrated this week with other things, and that made me frustrated. I don't know that I could go 2 weeks without being able to, like, talk about WoW and do things. That might bother me. I don't know. But I'll know. You guys will know. We'll know. I'm gonna set it up for a good success thing. Maybe. Be on the lookout. BlizzCon announcement should be any day. I don't really have the group last year. Every year the group gets smaller. It's really sad, actually. I'm actually gonna end the show because things make me sad. So the good news is Envy's sharing all his friends with me. Because, like, his whole crew, his whole, like, work crew goes. So we're going to go.
Bros.
Yeah, we're going to go hillbilly it up.
Join in. There's some prerequisites. You got to enjoy Monster Milk. You got to drink a Zima here and there. And you need some Oakleys.
Do people drink Zima still?
Yes, we fucking do. And we own a pair of Oakleys. Even my glasses are Oakleys.
Okay, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, that's a pretty douchebag type of thing. But I love Oakleys. I love Oakleys. And that's super douchebaggy, like one tail away from fedoras. It's like super douchebaggy, but I love Oakleys. I think that's part of my youth, though, because when I was in high school, it was the thing. If you didn't have Oakleys, you weren't cool enough. But
bullshit. Nobody likes the tuna.
See, Kiko knows. Kiko's got Oakleys, too. Like, we're part of, like, the Oakley squad.
Damn right, brother.
Well, guys.
Oh, sorry, bruh.
We have done all the things that we could do. Envy and I successfully held it down for Secret, who's probably snoring. Let me log in and find out that motherfucker's in game. And I think Rem is in chat. He is... Maybe he needs encouragement, guys. Rem, as we said in the very beginning of the show, if it's fun, he's not doing it. Maybe he needs you guys to encourage him to, you know, do stuff that's fun, because it's important, right? Would you say?
I agree. You know, if he needs fun, I'll take him to Russia with me.
Yeah.
We'll bring him back with something extra, but he'll be happy.
Sometimes what happens is people get so caught up in their life that they forget that there's other things that matter. And I normally am the person that pulls them out, right? Like, that's what Belle does. Belle saves a hoe. I go in and I fix it and I make everything better. But the last couple rounds of friendship fallouts, Belle doesn't have any fucks to give in that department, so I need them to do it themselves. But he needs your guys' encouragement, so maybe tweet to him. Maybe, you know, get him to do something besides sit in his room. I think that's what he does. I don't actually know, but he needs encouragement, guys, to be all that he can be. So with that said, guys, we're going to get the fuck on out of here because I've had a little bit too much to drink. And
I got to break the seal.
Yeah, I need to pee too also. And I need to eat. Guys, I know this was a shit show today, and I don't even give a care. I don't even care. We showed up, and that should be all that matters because I will always show up. Well, I didn't last week, but that's...
I'm going to throw something out there. I saw a question earlier. Yeah, we're always inviting people to the guild.
We are?
If you want to raid, that's something entirely different. I didn't make this clear last time. I'm going to make it clear now. We're not currently accepting any new raiders for the current raid. It's just not feasible. It's a pain to try to reteach strats, even if they're the strats that everybody uses. If you don't know the fight, I really don't want to spend the time for it, and it's not fair to everybody else. However, with 8.2 nearing the corner, you want to stop by, chill with us, feel free. If you want to entertain the idea of raiding with us, feel free. You know, we're always looking for new people, new friends, new drinking buddies, a Coke dealer. I don't care.
You don't need prostitution. I got that in the bag, not with myself, but I'm just saying, like, we good. But yeah, he's right. We don't need, in the sense of we need raiders, but we can't put them in the fold this late in progression. So come and do Mythic Pluses and hang out. And I need friends, guys. I'm going to start having to pay for friends. So DM me on Discord and be my friend. I'm offering $5 an hour in Monopoly money to be my friend because I'm going to go now, guys.
I really need to pee.
It's been real. Right as Rohan Arjun Tweet. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If this show sucked for you, I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can do in this life. It's just this.
But we'll see you next week and just get plastered with us.
Right,
It'll
like bring the drinks, and I might be alive by then. But we are gonna get the hell out of here, and I'm gonna go do whatever weird things I do. Maybe.
Maybe not.
So, that's not even the right fucking ending credits. I couldn't even get the ending credits right. Jesus. Why? How bad have you had to pee, and how long have you had to pee?
Very much hard.
You better go handle it.
I'm doing this right now. I'm leaving the door open. I don't care. What's happening?
Well, I'm on number 4 now. If I could find my bottle opener. I'm gonna have to take these bottles out, though. My dogs are gonna go through the trash. I need to hit the button. Gabe, close the door!
No!
Close the door! Close the door! Lena, tell him to close the door.
Okay, it's happening.
Oh my god. Oh. Guys, before I end stream, he's peeing with the door open. Luckily, I can't see anything, but he's peeing with the door open. I literally just see, like, the side of his sweater. I think I was just pedophiled or something.
Oh, thank you, baby Jesus. That was awesome.
Close the door, you uncultured swine.
Coming from the person that was taking shots, and actually, you were just drinking beer, weren't you?
I'm really sad that the stream isn't going to get that on video. Like, that would have been an epic blooper. Guys, you've just heard me be traumatized slightly by him being with the door open. I'm stopping now before we get banned because of peeing on stream. Ugh.